Hey y'all, welcome to a quick video of Wild Hairs Resale. I hope y'all are having a good day. We have been experimenting with several things around here. So we are very cheap people. We love to DIY things. My shop is kind of a resale thrift store kind of place. So a lot of people come in here looking for lower priced items. I like lower priced items because that's the kind of thing that I would purchase. But I still want nice things. Anyway, so I love to paint furniture. I love to paint crafts. I love to paint things. All of the chalk paint is very expensive. And I shouldn't say very expensive. It's just an extra expense. So, and a lot of people are turned off by the cost of the paint. So we're going to try a couple different DIY methods of chalk paint. I will tell you that I have my favorite brands of paint that I have used that are chalk paint, and I am actually currently in love with the Rethunk Junk paint. If you haven't watched some of the videos using the Rethunk Junk, just check it out because I'm in love with that. But today what we're going to do is two different methods. There are several methods out there. There's like a baking soda method. It works okay. I only use baking soda when I'm gonna add texture to something. And it works great for that purpose. There's a plaster of Paris method. And some people really like that method. And then there has been a lot of things about plaster of Paris causing like lung problems and things like that. So, FYI, I don't know about that, but I'm going to tell you that even in using chalk paint and the chalk material or anything, like when you're sanding or anything like that, you should wear a face mask because the particles can get into your lungs. And so that's just it. So the methods that we're going to try today, we have two different kinds of paint. I have the Rust-Oleum Ultra Cover Premium Latex paint in Sun Yellow.
I have
It's Valspar Signature.
Valstar's Signature Interior Paint plus Primer Scuff Shield in the color Satin.
So it's a paint and primer mix. Okay, so I got this one. There's a long story about why it looks like this. I got this from Habitat for Humanity today, and it ended up being $2 because there was a giant spill, and it wasn't my fault. Someone didn't attach the lid, and so the poor man at the checkout got covered in green paint. But this yellow, it's just a little sample can. It says fast drying, indoor and outdoor durability. And so it's a latex paint. So both of these are latex paints, and both of them have a primer. And that's the part that I find to be important, is to make sure that it has a primer, because you want it to have a primer so that it goes on smooth and it just kind of helps. So those are the paints that we're going to try today. Then the first method that we're going to use is calcium carbonate. Okay, so I'm experimenting just as much as you are. This is a food grade jar of calcium carbonate. I will tell you, I live in Amarillo, Texas. I drove all over this town. I went to every health food store, Walmart, everywhere. You cannot find, even the hardware stores, I cannot find calcium carbonate in powder form, even at vitamin stores. So you really are gonna have to order it. This whole jar, I think, costed me $13, and I have a feeling it's gonna go a pretty long way. And then the other method that we're gonna try today is adding chalk to your actual paint.
Like lifting chalk.
Yeah, so what I did was, this is just gym chalk, which is 100 grams. Now, I will tell you the thing about chalk is it's basically the same thing. So, but you can buy chalk a lot cheaper. Chalk powder, you can buy, because I was gonna actually use the method of talc, but you really can't get talc anymore. And I've looked, and because talc used to be in powder and it causes cancer. It's been proven to cause cancer. So I have a couple of things at home that have talc, but they're pink. And then some of them are medicated, and I've heard that makes your paint smell. So I just didn't even want to mess with the talc. So I've read several people saying that you can just add powdered chalk. So I originally wanted to just add or go and get, and it would still work, but there must be some kind of shortage. I don't really know. There must be something weird, because every hardware store I went to, they were out of the chalk line refills, like out completely, unless I wanted like neon orange. That was all they had. And I literally went to like 5 different stores because I was going to try the method using the chalk powder. And so I immediately thought of the chalk that you put in chalk lines. Couldn't find any of that. Looked for just powder chalk. Couldn't find any of that. So what I ended up doing was I ordered gem chalk. Now I will tell you that I thought that this was going to be a powder form. And it is a powder form, sort of. But I don't know if you can see that.
But you use blocks of it to do your hands when you work out.
Do I look like I work out, sister? No, this mama don't work out. You should know that. So what I did was I put it in a bowl, a tall jar actually. You need a wide mouth jar, a tall bowl, not a bowl at all. You need something tall, as in like, we didn't have a wide mouth jar around here, so we used this very tall peanuts can, okay? And so you put it in there, and then you don't do anything to it. Make sure there's not wet, because it needs to stay dry. And then we just use the emulsion blender, of which we're fixing to use again. But so that is what we did, and we powdered it, or we shook it up, or not shook it up, mixed it up until it was the powder form. So there's our chalk powder. And so, Shaylee, if you have a Sharpie right there, you can write chalk powder on here. She writes so small. Oh, she wrote chalk powder. All right, so there we got chalk powder. All right, so in this jar, I'm going to mix up this paint. In that jar, she's gonna mix up this paint. Now, both recipes call for a 2-to-1 ratio. So it's a 2-part paint to 1 part of whatever you're using, the chalk powder or whatever. The thing about it is you have to mix up, you have to dilute both of the calcium carbonate and the gem chalk. You have to mix them in water beforehand. So, I need a bigger bowl because my bowl is not clean. Here, I'll just use this little bowl. All right, so I have a bowl here. I'm gonna mix it up in.
This is my bowl?
And that's her bowl. All right, so we have to do the same. The key is to do the same amount for each thing. So, do you have my scoop down there? Yeah. All right, so we're gonna do, again, we're just trialing and erroring it because I know I want a pretty good amount of paint. You're doing that one. So I'm gonna do 4 scoops of chalk. 1.
I'm gonna do 4 of these scoops.
2. 3.
I guess you're not supposed to use a lot.
Okay, I'm just gonna do 3 because I feel like that's a lot. All right, so there's 3. So you do 3.
I'm going to do 3. Yes. 1, 2.
We need to really bring. Why are you looking panicked? Looking strange.
You scared me.
Oh, we need to bring some more forks here because we need to mix this with forks.
I can see you guys in the kitchen. These popsicle sticks.
Yeah, we're gonna use popsicle sticks. So you're gonna add just a tiny amount of water, not a whole lot, maybe a tablespoon.
But she's measuring.
I'm not measuring.
What a fun joke.
All
You
right.
put the same amount in mine.
Mm-hmm. All right, she wants me to measure. How many scoops did you put in?
3.
3. So I'm only putting 1 scoop of water. And we're just gonna stir it. Ooh, I'm gonna need a little more water. I'll
Is
use
it
it.
supposed to be liquidy?
You want it to turn into liquid.
Mine is nowhere near being liquid.
Okay, so put 1 more scoop of water in. And the reason, I guess a lot of people skip this step and then their paint comes out chunky. And so I guess the part of why we do it this way and dissolve it first is because it helps it to not be chunky. So I'm gonna put 1 more scoop. So that's 3 scoops of water to 3 scoops of powder.
Yeah, look, mine looks like
How many scoops of water have you in there?
2.
Okay.
Much better.
And so we're just gonna mix. We need a videographer, someone that can actually record us while we're mixing things.
A volunteer.
A volunteer, yeah. We pay well in laughs, lots of laughs.
I'm really funny.
She really is funny. All right, I'm just smushing the chunks up against the side of the container so that they will.
Mine's all liquidy.
All right. All right, so now we used 3 scoops of the dry. Okay, so that means that I'm going to take my popsicle stick and I'm gonna put it in my jar.
I'm gonna put mine in my jar.
Scrape all the stuff from the bottom. Because you want to make sure that we have enough compound to make our paint. I am not very... Alright, so I started with 3 scoops.
You do 3 scoops of paint?
You do 6. So it's the ratio is 2 to 1. So 2 parts of paint to 1 part of this. So we used 3 scoops.
Okay, gotcha.
So we're gonna put 6 scoops in. Is my math correct?
Yes.
Okay. There's 1 scoop. Ooh, I'm in love with this color. You know what I'm painting with this, right? I'm painting the food pantry thing.
Okay.
2.
Just one scoop.
All of it. 3. 4. 5.
Now that you painted your body, you could be like the Wicked Witch of the West. Remember the year you were that for Halloween?
Yes, it was the year that our baby girl Hope was Dorothy
Yeah.
from the Wizard of Oz, and she did not know that it was the Wizard of Oz. Well, she had never seen it, but she fell in love with, first of all, she loved costumes, and she fell in love with the dress when we were somewhere. And so she, in the cart at Walmart, stripped down and put this costume on. She was like 2.5. She was very funny.
I'm gonna go watch it.
And she kept saying, you know, the Wizard of Oz, because we told her what it was from. And so for weeks, she kept saying, we're off to see the lizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. So she did this, and it's very funny, because for weeks she did it. And so finally we let her watch the Wizard of Oz. And the entire time she kept asking, where is the lizard? Where is the lizard? Where is the lizard? She thought the movie was about a lizard. But that was a fun year because we dressed up as characters from the Wizard of Oz, and she had fun. So, all right. So I have mixed 6 scoops of this yellow. I'm gonna try and get this off of the can because it's a mess. So I put 6 scoops of yellow in there with 3 scoops of this watered down. I'm a little worried that maybe it was a little too watery, but we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens. So Shaylee is washing the scoop. I need to get another scoop. And so while we're waiting on that, I am going to get out this board that we are going to use to test. It's painted blue chalk paint on this side. If you watched another video, we're making coffee signs with them. But the good thing about chalk paint or things is around here we reuse things a couple different times. So, 1. I'm in love with this yellow. It says it is a sun yellow. And I love yellow. And I love orange. Apparently I like bright colors, but I love that green, hence why I picked it up. That was 3.
Are you sure?
4.
4. I'm not good at counting.
Where's your stick? You got a mess going on here, girl.
5.
Oh my gosh. Okay, stop.
What?
Trying to scoop that back in the can. I don't really like wasting paint around here. All right, so I feel like mine is pretty mixed up with my popsicle stick. I was thinking that we might need to put the immersion blender in there, which I guess if we didn't mix it with water first, we would need to do that, but I am not really seeing any chunks. Are you?
I don't know.
Well, you haven't stirred yours up. So I'm just stirring it like I would any paint. And I mean, technically I could put the lid on here and shake it. It does seem a little bit gritty. I don't know if you can see that, but it does seem a little bit gritty. So I'm not sure. So Shaylee's gonna vigorously shake hers, which scares me because I've already cleaned up this color of paint once today. So I'm gonna use the, I am not using the immersion blender. We figured that out a while ago. It does not fit. No, we will not use this for food. This was on the shelf. It's been here since we opened and it has never sold. So we will use it for paint. So I'm gonna just mix this
Mine
up.
does not look, mine looks a little pretty. But not, it's a chocolate.
All right, so now we just need, do you have a brush over there?
I do, this one.
You're gonna use that big one? Well, okay, then fine.
Actually, this one's too big. What size
Here.
are you using?
This one, one of my faves. Hold on, I'll get you a fresh, clean paintbrush. Here you go. All right.
Oh, this is soft.
Yeah. We like new paintbrushes around here, but
All right.
oh, mine is very gritty now. Look.
Oh yeah, yours is way gritty.
So should I just keep stirring it? So this is the chalk paint, or the chalk powder one.
So can I go?
Sure.
In suspense.
I'm not a good shaker upper.
Mine seemed to work pretty well. It's not too thin. It's good, but it's definitely gonna need 2
Does it
coats.
feel like chalk paint?
Yeah.
Like when you rub chalk paint on something?
Yeah, it's just a little what's that called? Liquidier.
So I guess to break down that, you could always put more powder. All right. So yeah, look at mine. Mine is terrible. Yeah, this is not good.
Maybe we should try each other's methods. If you try mine.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Well, this is just a short one to just see which one is better. I feel like the chalk one, this one, I feel like it should have a higher ratio of powder.
Because that one was a lot more grittier and fine than
Yeah.
this one.
I just feel like it probably needed more powder ratio.
Add a little bit more.
Well, for this demonstration, we have to keep things the same. So, I'm gonna try it and see. Yeah, look at the grit.
Chunks.
The chunks. Uh-huh. I would be mad if this was a piece of furniture. Yeah, okay. So, Shaylee says to try more powder. I'm a little scared that that's gonna make more chunks. Because I can't use the blender.
Here, just do a little.
No, you can't mix that in there.
No. That much.
Just 1 scoop?
Yeah, sure.
And I'm gonna do 3.
We could always add more. We can take it out.
She's learning. Okay. So I'm gonna let her vigorously shake.
Is your nose ready?
Uh-huh.
Okay, same as you.
She said something really bad. It was an office thing. And I don't really like it.
Watch it just like blessed in my face.
That would be bad
That'd be
because
so
it would go
funny.
all over everywhere. So I'm just gonna test. By the way, I got this paint at a yard sale last week for 50 cents, I think, for this can. I'm just gonna paint 1 strip of the plane to see what it does. Gritty?
On the sides.
I feel like
Yours is a lot weirder than mine.
so. There you have it. The chalk stuff
Alright,
is
I'll
gritty.
Place that.
The chalk stuff. Go get the camera so that they can see and show them the grittiness of this. I mean, I can brush the grit away, and I feel like it's getting good coverage, but it's gritty. Do you see the grits?
Versus mine. First coat.
Mm-hmm.
They're like almost the same.
All right, and this is what it looks like in the jar.
And this is what my jar looks. Can you take my lid off?
I keep looking for a clock and there's not one.
I keep thinking it's a clock. And this is what mine looks like. So I'm gonna put y'all back up here.
So, if I had to choose one, I would definitely go with the calcium carbonate method. And I think that the chalk would be fine if that's all you had. I think that it would be fine. And it might be better if we could actually use the immersion blender. And if I had any solo cups even, I would pour this in there and try it. But I think that for now, our winner chicken dinner is this magnesium carbonate. So,
Which one were you expecting to turn out?
yeah, which one were you wanting to turn out?
Asking you.
Me?
Yes.
Probably that one. Probably that one, because I've seen more people try that one. This was just a cheaper method, a less expensive method than that one. But I'm trying to think. I paid $13 for that, and I think this was $10. So it really wasn't that drastically much more expensive. My original hope was to use the chalk line refills. You know what I'm talking about? And I don't know what is going on in the world. Well, we all know what's going on in the world, but I don't know if there's like a shortage on chalk line stuff. I don't know. So, I'm gonna put one more coat over mine.
Definitely think mine's better.
Yeah, there is a lot more chunks in this. And it's shocking because that's even after we, blended it down to a powder. The coverage is great. The coverage is probably the same. One thing that Shay doesn't understand is when you're painting with yellow or any kind of light color like this, brush strokes are going to show up, and sometimes it does take more paint. And this is a non-finished surface.
This
so
came in a pack of flooring.
Yeah, this was one of the flooring boards that was like a spacer or something. I don't know. So there's my yellow. I'm sad because I was really looking forward to painting that shelf with this yellow.
Well, you can redo it with this.
But I'm loving the color. So, all right. Well, that's all we have for now. Let us know in the comments what you think. Let us know if you have tried to make homemade chalk paint before, and if you were successful, what was your method? So, we love to have visitors here at the shop. We're located in Amarillo, Texas. We are Wild Hair's Recycled Resale, and we just like to have fun doing a lot of different things, painting and upcycling and things like that. We are doing DIYs one day at a time to try and make this world a better place. So thanks again for watching, and y'all have a great day.